But if you're trying to convince like business people now, it's about the size of the market. Had you ever pitched a business before? How did you create your first pitch deck? Who was on the team, put it together? You know, where did you go? What was the process of that?
The key thing with this process is finding an expert. So we found a guy early on who was a friend named Joe Cohen, who had built a number of businesses, and he guided us on how to convince other people like him to invest a little bit, but also to build that pitch deck.
Yeah.
And how to say it with conviction, with numbers, with passion, all those kinds of things. I learned a little bit working for a company called Diageo, which is a drinks company.
Yeah.
Where I was intrapreneur.
I like that phrase.
That was it. Convincing the business to give up money to try new ideas for new businesses within Diageo. So that's easier because you can fail. You got the big company, which makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
When you're an entrepreneur, failure is
It's your own,
not
your
really
own,
an option. Yeah. So you have to reach out quickly to, I guess what I'd say, subject matter experts, and network through your friends to find that one person who's done it before. I had done it in a company, but I hadn't done it on my own.
Okay.
So Joe, in that case, was a really, really helpful bridge and advisor, and he put in a bit of his own money as well. So that's the first thing. But basically, you also have to get it down to what everybody calls the elevator pitch. So you walk into an elevator, and there's Richard Branson. What do you say in 30 seconds to get them to want to learn more?
What was Sofar's elevator pitch, actually?
Yeah, for investors, it was basically that there are millions of people who are really keen for experiences that are, perhaps a little bit different. The experience economy is massive. And actually even getting bigger with the obsession with technology, the sense of we want to be human again in sort of a small space. So you use numbers on how many people go to events worldwide, and not just gigs, because Sofar can work with gigs. You can go hear your favorite band. We don't announce, I didn't say earlier, we don't announce who's playing. It's secret. So you're not competing with a concert where the act is named and the fans go. People so far go for the discovery. So we're actually looking at anyone who could go to a restaurant or a movie or a gig or any sort of night out experience, and sometimes do it in addition. You might go out to dinner and then come to a Sofar. So our pitch was that this is a multi-billion-dollar or even trillion-dollar over the world business of experiences. We also talk about content because we film a lot of the events.
Yeah.
We have thousands and thousands of videos. For example, Billie Eilish's first ever performance we've captured.
You've got quite a few first performances. I've seen it, man. It's heavyweight.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then investors like the idea of content because there's a lot you can do with it to make money, but also to support the careers of those artists.
I like that. So it's bigger than music. So I think a lot of people would have been restricted to selling the idea within the context of their industry. But you kind of oversold it into as big as you possibly could.
Exactly. And investors like the word disruptor. So a disruptor is somebody like Airbnb, which some people love, some people don't. But they're doing they've done an amazing job sort of creating a whole new industry.
Yeah.
And so a disruptor can not only take on the existing incumbents, they can open the market for new stuff. Uber's another example. So when you are creating a business and you're pitching it, thinking about how are you disrupting the industry for good, but also for the investor's perspective for money eventually, that is a very powerful thing. And Sofar is, in a way, disruptive because we created a new market for events in small spaces that is doing something a little bit different.